What's up, YouTube? In today's video, we are talking about how I grew my Instagram account for my clothing brand from 0 followers to over 5,000 followers, which, like, me thinking and saying that is wild because it was a point where I was like, dang, like, you really about to start something from scratch? Because before starting this clothing brand, I used to own a store that I did like resell items for. And I scaled it pretty big. It eventually was in a mall and all that, but the overhead was so high, and I eventually had to close that business. That's another story for another day. But yeah, I started this clothing brand, and I could have easily took my old like clothing stores Instagram and converted it, but I kind of wanted just to start completely fresh and build something new. So let's go ahead and break down how I went from 0 followers on that account to I'm about to say 200 to 5,000. It was a point not that long ago where I was like, man, I got 200 followers, but no, I'm at 5,000 followers on that account. So the first thing that I would say when you're starting a brand new account, and this is a mistake that I made, and I probably could have grew quicker if I would have did this, do not set it, and this goes for Instagram and TikTok, do not set them as business accounts. For Instagram, you could set it as like a creator account. But if you set it like as a business account, you can't use trending songs, and you can't use like copyrighted songs. You're going to be stuck using all the generic songs. So do not set it as like a business account. Set it as like a content creator account if you're on Instagram. Okay. So when you do that, what it'll allow you to do is actually pick songs that are on the radio and music people actually listen to. And that's what you want as a brand, because you need to build a brand identity. So this is going to be a big topic of this video. When you are starting off a brand, you need to know how to identify with your customer. Okay. So if that's you making a idea person for your brand, or finding let's say it's like an athlete or your favorite musician or whoever the case may be, and saying, okay, this is who I envision wearing my brand. When I see them on photo shoots and I see their clothes, those are the pieces that I want to create, and those are like the styles that my brand embodies. You need to understand overall, like, okay, and what music would this individual listen to, and what activities would they do. So if I were starting a skateboard brand, okay, I would understand, okay, what kind of clothes do they wear? Are they wearing baggy pants? Are they wearing big shoes? Because if you skateboard, you're wearing like these bigger shoes, for comfort of your feet if you fall, or you're wearing baggier pants because you don't, want to be super restricted with like your motion and your movement. You just really have to understand what your customer wants from a style perspective, but not only a style perspective. What kind of music do you envision them listening to? Is it hip hop? Is it rock? Is it alternative? Is it underground? Is it R&B? Like, really understand your clientele and your customer, because you want people, when they come to your brand, they immediately know, like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. Okay. So I want to just really break down why that is important, because I feel like people, when you watch, a lot of people, I think when you want to watch videos like this, and this is coming from me, you want like these shortcut tactics, when really in our reality is so many nuances to building a brand that if you really listen, like if you really take the time and listen to what I'm saying, you'll really understand. This will help you tremendously, because at the end of the day, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to growing a personal brand, a brand for clothing, a brand for anything, you have to create some sort of story that you are telling. So the first thing, like I said, make sure you have your account where you can pick whatever sound you want. And then once you have the sound, that the availability to those sounds, you need to start curating the music that you post. So when I'm posting on my brand, I'm picking songs that I've heard and songs that I enjoy and songs that I feel like my customer would enjoy. And I'm saying, okay, I'm posting it with this picture because it's giving off this like emotion. Like if you really it's so funny, but if you really think about it the same way people pick music for movies or TV shows, that's the same way you have to pick it for your brand or for whatever you're marketing. So you have to really create this vibe. So I try and create these good vibes with all of my posts, and I try and do that centered around the music and also through the images. Now, when I post the images, one thing that I've started to do is not post solo images. So it was a point where I was only posting maybe one picture. And if I did a carousel, it was probably like 3 pictures, 5 tops. Now when I post, I'm trying to post as many pictures I can throw in that carousel as possible. Why do you want to do that? You want to make sure your customers and whoever's coming to that Instagram can see as much of this story. Like, think of it like a book. You don't want this super short book where you can only have 1 or 2 pages in the book. Like, you want as many pages as possible. And the people who really are enjoying the story, they're going to read through every single page of the book. So I think of that the same way when I'm posting for the brand. And when it comes to the videos are going to help you grow the most. And I'm going to say that again. Instagram Reels, TikTok videos are going to be the things that help you grow the most, okay? And the only way you can grow with these, though, is if you get the attention of people within the first 3 seconds. And that's just where we are, because it's so much videos, so many videos, so much content, so many things that are grabbing people's attention that you only on average, you only on average have about 3 seconds before they go to another video. So what I've been doing and what I like to do is to create some sort of hook in the first 3 seconds of the video. So there's numerous ways you can create hooks. I would recommend, if you don't know what a hook is, ask ChatGPT. What is a hook for content? And what is a hook for a reel? Or just ask what a hook is. If you aren't like a person who's using ChatGPT, ask YouTube. Type it on YouTube. What is a hook? You'll find tons of videos on that. But you need to be able to capture the attention in the first 3 seconds. One way that I personally like to do it is to add text. So in that first 3 seconds, if you have a really good video and in that first 3 seconds you have some text that somebody has to read, they'll probably try and read what it says because people are nosy. So they're going to be like, okay, well, what does it say right there? Like, they're going to try and read it. And as they're reading it and it has something to do with your actual product, and then bam, after those 3 seconds, they get to see highlights of that product, that's what's going to draw their attention, and that's what's going to cause the algorithm for these platforms to keep pushing your content out, because these algorithms are based on how long you can keep people on their platforms and keep people watching content. So if you can grab people for that first 3 seconds, and once you got them for those 3 seconds, they follow through for the rest of the video, Instagram or TikTok is going to say, okay, we need to keep pushing this video out to people because for whatever reason, people are watching this video the whole entire video. So figure out how to make really good hooks and you'll start growing. Now, the next big hack, I feel like this is a super big hack in 2025 because a few years ago, this was not a thing, and that is collab post. So what a collab post is, Instagram allows you to share a post with multiple people. So say, for example, I'm just thinking of like a random person, but I know like Beyonce has like a deal with Levi Jeans right now. Essentially, what Levi could do to promote their item and also pull some of her following to their Instagram, they could do a collab post. And They probably have at some point in time, I would think, if they're smart or if they could afford it. But what it allows them to do is once you look at the post, it'll say Levi's Instagram and Beyonce's Instagram on the top of it. And once you go to Levi's page, you'll see the post. But also when you go to Beyonce's page, you'll see the post. And this has helped me a lot because I've started to collab with influencers. So if I post content and they're in it and they request for a collab, I let them collab. But usually what the case has been for me recently, when I send out products to different influencers, I tell them before I send out the product, number one, I tell them, can we do a collab post? And if they say yes, as soon as they make that post, I tell them to send me a invite. And it's super easy. It's about the same way you would tag somebody in a post. They can press invite collaborator. And once they do that, now I'm connected. The brand is connected to their page. So anytime somebody interacts with that post, my feed is getting a like, their feed is getting a like. It usually ends up what happens is if somebody comes from their page, they come to my page, they follow. So I'm getting a lot of followers that way. And the more you do this, the more followers that you get and more attention. And I really like to do this with Instagram Reels in particular, because with feed posts, those are only good for so long. Like after somebody posts like a picture to their feed, I would say after about the first like 48 hours, that starts to go down drastically. I mean, they'll still get interactions here and there, but it's not going to be like as soon as they post it. With a reel, on the other hand, sometimes reels take a second before they blow up. So I've had multiple reels with different influencers where when they first posted it only had 1,000 views. But as we kept resharing it, me posting it to my story and them posting it to their story, people resharing it that they know, people just liking it, the algorithm starts to push out that reel more and more. And then eventually it goes from only having 1,000 views to having 10,000 views. And from those, you get a lot of followers as well. So I would say do collab posts with influencers if they allow it. And the easiest way to make sure that they'll allow you to collab with them, before you send out products to them, before you send them money, make it a requirement that they collab with you. And if you do that, then you'll grow. And I'm at a point where my brand has more followers than some of the influencers I work with. So a lot of them, especially the new ones that I work with, beg and say, oh, please accept the collab. Depending on if I like the quality and also if it's a collection that I'm currently marketing, I'll collab. But 9 times out of 10, if it's a reel and I could not have to post it on my main feed and it could be in my reel section, I'll collab with them. Like, I don't care. I'll tell them, send me the collab request so we can collab. And sometimes they're shocked and they're like, oh, really? And it's like, yeah, because with reels, like I said, the potential of those actually growing and continue to grow are a lot higher than the actual feed posts. But yeah, those are the main things. Another thing, and I don't want to underrate this because it has probably contributed a lot to it, is I run ads for my clothing brand. I know a lot of people nowadays are anti-ads, and I feel like that's because they have an ad agency. I personally run my own ads. I don't pay anybody else to do it. All the money that I would spend on the ads go directly to the ads, not to somebody else's pocket. And I think if you're a small brand, you should not be paying the ad agency. If you're doing that, it's like, do you got rich parents or what's what's the situation with you? But yeah, for me, I run all my own ads. And with ads, what they do is they send out like these not really generic posts, because sometimes they are like original content that I had on my page, but sometimes it's content that's only for ads that I create. But regardless, the way that Meta ads, which are Facebook ads, which are Instagram, Meta owns both of those platforms. Once I run a Meta ad, it will roll it out to both Facebook and to Instagram. I know some people say I don't only run my ads to Instagram. I run my ads to both Facebook and Instagram, and people tell me that they've seen my stuff on Facebook too, and I've had some conversions from Facebook. So I run to both because you're gonna pay the same price anyway. But anyway, once they see my ad on Instagram, even though it might not be a post that's on my actual Instagram, they can click the top of it and Instagram will lead them to my actual Instagram account the same way as if it was a regular post on my Instagram account. And a lot of those lead to followers. So just me having ads constantly running, I get constant followers every single day. Like I get between 10 to 20 to 30, sometimes 50 followers in a day. And is no other reason than the fact that I had ads. Because some days I didn't post anything. There wasn't an influencer who posted that I reposted to the story. There wasn't a customer. It wasn't anything. And I just got followers. So it's coming from the ads. So that's another way that will help you tremendously. But if you do a lot of the stuff that I said in the beginning of the video, you'll gain a lot of followers naturally from that alone. So you just have to be consistent, and you just have to be strategic in what you want your brand to be, because sometimes just having a ton of followers can mean nothing. It's so many brands. I feel like people don't understand this. It's so many brands out here who have way more followers than my brand, and I 100% guarantee you my brand does more sales than those brands. And some of those brands message me on Instagram asking me information from my brand's account. So I know for a fact that followers do not matter. You want real followers, and that's always been my thing. I don't want to pay for them. I don't want people who aren't actually interested in the product. I want real followers. So these are the ways that I got real followers, and I went from 0 to 5,000 followers with my brand in under a year. And the thing is, I get a lot of like ad agencies and brand scalers. We can get you way more followers. No, I'm not looking for way more followers. I'm looking for people who are actually interested in shopping and actually real customers. I don't just want random people just following the page just so I can have this inflated number of followers. Like what is that? So yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure to leave them below. If you got to the end of this video, make sure that thumbs up, and also subscribe, because if you made it to the end of the video, that probably means that you want to subscribe to the channel. Come on. So yeah, check out the channel. I got a lot of content. Like I said, I'm doing a building a brand series. I'm actually doing it right now, and I shot this video in between to show you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much this video, and thanks for watching. And yeah, that's it. I don't know what else to say. I feel like I'm just keep saying that, but I'll see you guys in the next one, especially if you hit that subscribe button. But peace out. All right, but I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.